Okay, so first things first, guys, before we get started this morning, I'm going to try not to talk too loud because they are testing on that 4th grade hallway down there and I do not want to disturb them. Also, when you are answering questions this morning, please make sure that you are not getting too loud while they're testing. I want you guys to participate. I want y'all to have fun with it, but we cannot get too loud and disturb them while they're testing, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So just keep that in mind as you're answering. Keep in mind the volume that your voice is at, okay?
Yes,
Okay, so I need you to get your expo markers. The first thing we're going to do this morning is we're going to review a little bit of some of the shapes that we've been talking about. We've been talking about what kind of shapes?
3D. No, 2D shapes.
2D shapes. Remember, we're going to touch on 3D shapes today and y'all get a better idea of the difference between 2D and 3D shapes. But today, we are going to start by reviewing our 2D shapes. So, I'm going to play a game with you, kind of like that game we played yesterday. Joel, please pay attention. Where I gave you, this shape has this many sides, this many angles. I want you to take your marker, draw it on your whiteboard or your desk, and then when I say go, you'll hold it up. Y'all with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here's what I need you to do. The shape that I'm thinking of has 5 sides and 5 angles. I want you to draw it, and then when I say go, we will hold it up. 5 sides and 5 angles. It does not have to be perfect, just do your best. If you need to circle your angles, that's okay. Making sure they're all there. Tina, what shape did you draw? Pentagon. Is she correct?
Yes.
Pentagons have how many sides?
5.
They have how many angles?
5.
Very good. And if I'm drawing a pentagon, penta means what?
5.
That would be my clue, right? Because I know
Yeah.
penta means 5. All right, let's do another one. This shape has 3 angles and 3 sides. Draw it. I love the way that we are working. We are thinking before we answer. 3 angles, 3 sides. All right, board's up. Eli, what shape did you draw?
A triangle.
Do we agree?
Yes.
Good. Triangles have how many sides?
3.
And how many angles?
3.
Very good.
3.
All right. So let's do another one. I want you to draw me a shape that has 0 sides and 0 angles. 0 sides, 0 angles. Remember, if you do not have a board, you should be drawing on your desk. Joel, what shape did you draw?
A circle.
A circle. How many sides does a circle have?
0.
How many angles does it have?
0.
Very good. All right, last one. My shape has 4 angles and 4 sides. If you can think of more than one, then you can draw more than one. Remember, yesterday we had a question on our worksheet, our independent practice pages, that was asking us for 3 different shapes. All right. let me see what we're thinking. What do we come up with? Show me your boards.
Square, rectangle.
Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't called anyone's name yet. I just asked us to hold up our boards so Miss Lee can see. Okay. Desiree, what is one of the shapes that you can draw for this question? Remember, we said 4 sides and 4 angles. What shape has 4 sides and 4 angles?
Square.
Desiree. A square, yes. Did anybody draw a square on their whiteboard? Looks like I see a few. All right. So, question. Jasper. Let me see. Skylar, can you think of another shape besides a square that has 4 sides and 4 angles? She said a rectangle. Do you agree?
Yes.
What's the difference between a square and a rectangle?
One and the other is like taller.
Let's see. How about somebody raise their hand and tell me what the difference is between a square and a rectangle so that when you give me your answer, I can hear you clearly. Constantine, what's the difference between a square and a rectangle?
The rectangle is longer and all the sides are not the same.
Okay. And how does that compare to a square? Or how does it contrast? How is it different? What do the sides for a square look like?
All the sides of a square are equal sides.
All the sides are equal. Are all the sides equal for a rectangle?
Yes. Yeah, but wait, there's one more.
Are all the sides equal for a rectangle?
No, ma'am.
No. 2 are what?
Bigger.
Longer. And 2 are shorter. Very good. Now I'm thinking of one more shape that has 4 sides and 4 angles.
Trapezoid.
I have not called anybody's name and I do not see any hands raised. Addie, can you think of another? A rhombus. Very good. We said a rhombus looks like what shape?
A diamond.
It looks like a what?
A diamond.
A diamond. Remember, take your finger and draw me a rhombus in the air. Maverick, are you paying attention? What directions did I just give? So draw it for me, please. Your shape should look like my fingers right here. A rhombus also looks like a diamond. Very good, Zion. Okay, so I want you to close your markers and set them down on your desk. So, the shapes that we have covered so far are a triangle, a square, a rectangle, a rhombus, and a pentagon. Now I have a question for you.
And a circle.
And a circle. Thank you, Eli. So there was also a question that some of you guys were really confused yesterday on your independent practice. It said, draw a quadrilateral. What is a quadrilateral? Somebody raise your hand and tell me what a quadrilateral is.
Side.
Go ahead, Macon. Tell me what a quadrilateral is.
A shape with 4 sides.
A shape with 4 sides. How do y'all think Macon figured that out? How does he know that a quadrilateral means 4 sides?
Quad means 4.
Quad means 4. Very good. Just like tri and triangle means 3. Y'all are getting it. Just like penta and pentagon means
5.
or hexa and hexagon means
6.
Very good. Okay. So let's go ahead and clear our whiteboards in our desk. Make sure your markers are closed. Now that we've kind of reviewed what 2D shapes are, we're going to start diving into some 3D shapes. Now, you guys have seen this video before, and I would love for you to sing, but also please be mindful that they're testing. So you can sing, but let's keep it at a reasonable volume. Can we handle that?
When it says balls, I laugh.
Okay. All right, let's watch our 3D shapes video to give us a little intro.
Pyramid, cube, cone. Let's go! Sphere, cylinder, pyramid, cube, cone. Microphone. Sphere, cylinder, pyramid, cube, cone. Microphone. Sphere, cylinder, pyramid, cube, cone. All 3D shapes. 3D shapes.
The Egyptian pyramids stand
30 tall.
pyramids before rain falls. Trees can look like pyramids, touching the sky. Pyramid block of trees,
Give it a try.
some house rooftops are pyramids too. A few bottles with scents that I do. Pyramid shape, rings on a desk. Looking at that staff that fit so picturesque. With the pieces, apex and faces. Pyramids are found in the most wondrous places.
Let's go! Sphere, cylinder, pyramid, cube, cone. Microphone. Sphere, cylinder, pyramid, cube, cone. Microphone. Sphere, cylinder, pyramid, cube, cone. All 3D shapes. 3D shapes.
Blocks are cubes, much of the time.
It's new?
Be cubes,
No, probably Sean.
box in the middle. Ice cubes can ice cream shapes. Cube containers so beautiful. Concrete cubes can hold
Hold up a bridge.
faces of the cube.
Let's go! Sphere, cylinder, pyramid, cube, cone. Microphone. Sphere, cylinder, pyramid, cube, cone. Microphone. Sphere, cylinder, pyramid, cube, cone. On microphone. 3D shapes. Let's go! Sphere, cylinder, pyramid, cube, cone. The microphone. Sphere, cylinder, pyramid, cube, cone. Microphone. Sphere, cylinder, pyramid, cube, cone. 3D shapes. Sphere, cylinder, pyramid, cube, cone. I don't know. I said
Alright, friends. So,
I said sheep.
I need you to turn to page 759 in your math book. It should look like this page I have up here on the board.
There's 759.
759.
I'll be there before anyone. I'm already here.
Joel,
I've
Joel.
been there.
move your Chromebook so you have some more space to work
Get
on your
away
desk.
here. Get away here.
And you can put your reading book away.
Right here. Where is it? Oh yeah. I'm just.
Oh, thank you, Maverick. Thank you, Constantine. Thank you, Leanne. Remember, you have school store this week, and I'm still giving points until we go to school store. So I'm looking for friends who are making good choices, following directions, and on task. Okay, so in our video, we talked about spheres. What does a sphere look like?
A ball.
Yes, like a ball, like a basketball. What does a pyramid look like?
The Giza, pyramids of Giza.
Yes, it kind of looks like, what shape?
Triangle.
Kind of like a triangle, right? A
But
3D
but
triangle.
but more triangles. But more triangles and a square at the bottom.
Yes. All right.
Eli said that first.
Give me 5.
There's shapes on his.
You did not raise your hand enough to not call. I have some friends who are talking while I'm talking, or while their friends are answering questions. We're a little off task. Let's make sure we get ourselves together. Zion. Okay, so our video talked about spheres, cylinders, pyramids, cubes, and cones. So those are the 3D shapes we're going to be talking about today. There's going to be a couple extra that our book talks about that we'll touch on as we go. So, on page 759, is everybody there?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you need help? Okay, so here we see a picture of our bedroom. So let's read our directions. It says, look at the picture.
When you said basketball, Joel was like this. Because I didn't remember.
Joel, please pay attention and sit correctly in your seat. Alright, so our directions tell us to look at the picture, circle the three-dimensional shapes that you see. Okay? So, somebody raise your hand and tell me a three-dimensional shape that you see in this picture. Matthew, what do you see?
The little triangle that has a check mark on it.
That is a clock. See how it has the long hand and the short hand? What is that shape called?
A pyramid.
That is a pyramid. I would like for you to circle that pyramid with your pencil so we know that's one shape that we found. Now somebody else raise your hand and give me another 3D shape that you are seeing there. Go ahead, Leanne.
The toy box.
The toy box. What? Do you know what that shape is called?
Cube.
So, when you have a shape like this one, it does look kind of like
Rectangular prism. Rectangular prism.
Yes, Eli, that is called a rectangular prism. Its base, see how all of the sides and the base are shaped like a rectangle?
Yeah.
It is a 3D shape though. So because it has a rectangular base and it is a 3D shape, it is called a rectangular prism. Everybody say rectangular prism.
Rectangular prism.
Very good, Leanne. So circle your rectangular prism. That's the toy box.
Wait, I did it. I did that.
Leanne pointed it out and you identified the shape. You're right. All right. So let's look for another 3D shape that we're seeing. Landon, what do you see?
The game and the desk.
The game
Cause it's
and the desk. They're pretty
It's a
pretty much the
rectangle.
same shape, right?
It's a rectangle.
It's a rectangular
prism.
Good. Circle both of those. Those are also rectangular prisms. Y'all are on it. I'm loving it.
Which one?
All right. I see a couple more 3D shapes.
Another
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't hear yelling out. I see hands raised, waiting quietly for your name to be called. Go ahead, Alexandra. Give me one. What you see?
I see a sphere.
A sphere. Where?
There's a basketball and a baseball.
Do we agree the basketball and the baseball are both spheres?
Yes,
I agree. You can circle them. Now, there's one more shape that really sticks out to me on here. So, Joel, do you see it? Sure. Go ahead, Zion.
I see 2 cylinders.
Okay. Where do you see cylinders?
The telescope and the baseball bat.
I agree. Circle those. Very good. I love the way that when so many of my friends were identifying shapes that we saw, instead of saying that you saw the basketball, or you saw the baseball, or you saw the desk, you said, I see the desk, it is a rectangular prism. I see the baseball, it is a sphere. I love the way y'all are using your vocabulary. Yes, Landon.
In the windows too, there's a shape.
They're shapes, but are they 3D?
No.
No. So, look at those shapes on the blanket. Are those 3D shapes?
Those are 2D.
Those are 2D shapes. Very good.
Wait, the balls on the couch. The balls on the couch. The balls on the bed are 3D shapes. No, those are circles.
Those are on the blanket, so they're 2D.
Yeah.
No, not those. These.
Sort of. All right, my friends.
This is a 3D shape.
I'm going to wait for table 3. I have a couple of friends over there who are not ready for us to move to the next bench. All right, let's turn to page 760. All right, so we just watched a video on this, but it's giving you a visual picture of all those shapes we just talked about. A 3-dimensional shape is a shape with length, width, and height. So, length, watch me, and you're gonna make the moves I make. This is gonna show you the difference between length, width, and height. Length is how long something is. So do that with me. Length is how long something is. Width is how wide something is. Make a W with your fingers. Put them together. Width is how wide something is. Now we know height is how what something is.
How tall it is.
How tall it is. So height is how tall something is. So let's do it one more time. Three-dimensional shapes have length, width, height. We good?
Yeah. Wait,
Joel, please sit down.
It's kind of like you can make a photo with it.
All right, so now I'm gonna say what a three-dimensional shape has, and you're gonna show me the motions. I'm not gonna help you this time. Let's see how closely we were paying attention. A three-dimensional shape has length. Show me length.
This is the length.
L's with your fingers. Length shows me how long it is. Remember, length is long. Width is wide. Show me width. Width. It's like you're making a big block. Width.
Stretch that far.
And height. Show me height.
Height.
Very good. Height's like a tall, tall building. Okay, very good. You can sit. All right, so we have a sphere, a cube, a pyramid, a cone, a cylinder, and a rectangular prism. Now, it's very important that we know how to use the names of our shapes because they are our vocabulary words in this lesson. So I'm going to say the name of them again, and you are going to repeat them so that you know how to pronounce them, okay? Everybody say sphere.
Sphere.
Say cube.
Cube.
Say pyramid.
Pyramid.
Say cone.
Cone.
Say cylinder.
Cylinder.
One more time. Cylinder.
Cylinder.
Say rectangular prism.
Rectangular prism.
Now prism is a tricky word, so now just say prism.
Prism.
Now say rectangular prism.
Rectangular prism.
Very good. Okay, so now we're going to look at number 1 and 2 on page 760. I'm going to read the question, you're going to look at the shape, and then I'm going to call a lucky duck to help me figure out what shape this is. This page has given us some real world examples, real life examples, Matthew, that you will see every day that are examples of the shapes we're looking at. So look at number 1. It says write the name of the shape. Circle the objects that are the same shape. So I want you to try number 1 on your own, and then I'm going to pick a lucky duck for us to talk about it. So go ahead and try number 1. Start by writing the shape and circle those objects that are the same shape.
Which one are we on?
We are on page 760, number 1. Please do not say anything. Just work it out on your own. I will call someone to help me out in just a second.
I don't have enough room.
Just write it underneath the line if you need to. I know some of them are kind of long. Got a couple of friends still writing. Here, over here.
Let's go, Tisha.
You are naming the shape. You don't have to write the name of what goes with it. Maverick. You are writing the name of the shape. Then you're going to circle the pictures that look like that shape. Alexander, what did you call this shape?
A rectangular prism.
I agree. How did you know it was a rectangular prism, Xander?
Because
I want everyone listening to Xander's explanation.
because it looks just like a rectangle.
It has a rectangular base, and all the sides are shaped like what, Alexander?
A rectangle.
A rectangle, correct. So that makes this a what shape?
Rectangular prism.
Rectangular prism. Xander, I have another question. Which pictures did you circle that were examples of rectangular prisms?
Cereal. Tissue box.
Tissue.
Alexander, which examples did you circle?
Tissue box.
The tissue box. Now, remember, there are tissue boxes that have a longer width, or this is length, I'm sorry. They have a longer length, like the one on our bookshelf over there. But there are also some that have a taller What is it called when it goes like this?
Height.
So either way, if the base is a rectangle and all the sides are rectangles, then it is a
Rectangular
rectangular prism. So is the tissue box the only rectangular prism we have?
No, ma'am.
No. What's the other one that we have?
Cereal box.
The cereal box. I agree.
I mean, hey, my picture kind of look like a cereal box. Kind of.
Yeah.
All right. If you hear my voice, touch your nose. If you hear my voice, touch your ears. There's too much talking in between questions. Eli, I need you to sit, please. Stay with me and focus. Okay. So I need you to look now at number 2. I want you to try and name that shape and circle the pictures that match it on your own. And then I'll have a lucky duck help us talk about it.
Wait. Cold.
Please do not say your answers out loud. Please write them on your paper. And let's wait for one of our friends to be called. All right, Megan, I want you to help me with this one. What did you call this shape? A cone. Do we agree?
Yes, ma'am.
I agree. A cone has 2 triangles for sides, but the base of it is a what? The base is the bottom of a shape.
A circle.
A circle, that's right. Miss Lloyd should have told y'all base means bottom. That was probably kind of confusing at first, huh? So we have 2 triangles that meet up at the top, and the base is a circle. This shape is called a cone. Very good, Macon. So, Macon, what pictures did you circle that are real life examples of cones? The ice cream cone, right? The waffle cone. Have you ever gone to like Brewster's or an ice cream shop, like maybe Marble Slab in Columbus, and you've gotten you an ice cream cone,
No, ma'am.
and it was a waffle cone?
Yeah, I have. But
Or maybe you made ice cream sundaes in a waffle cone.
my mom got me.
That is one real life example that we see of a cone. What is another example in that picture you circled, Macon? What else did you circle? Macon. The party hat. When it's somebody's birthday and everybody's crowded around the cake and they're singing happy birthday, they're wearing what?
Party hats.
Party hats. And those hats have 2 triangles, right, that meet at the top. And what is the base
A
of those hats?
circle. A circle.
Right, the circle part goes on top of your head, right? Okay, here's what I need you to do. We're going to skip the independent practice page and come back to it in just a second. Yes, Macon, did you have a question?
You don't always wear a birthday hat.
You don't always wear a birthday hat, that's true.
And Grand's birthday party 2 days ago, no, I think 3 days ago on Saturday, we didn't wear any.
Well, think about it. Miss Lloyd, a couple of years ago, went to a Mexican restaurant for her birthday. They don't put a party hat on your head. What's that thing called that they put on your head? Does anybody know? A sombrero. What shape is a sombrero?
I don't know.
A cowboy.
Think about it. Does it have 2 triangles that meet at the top?
Yes.
Does it have 2 triangles that meet at the top?
Yes.
What's the base of a sombrero look like?
I don't know.
The bottom part that goes on your
A
head. What's it
circle.
look like?
A circle.
So is a sombrero a cone?
No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
No.
No, ma'am.
2 triangles that meet at the top.
Yes.
Circle base.
Yes. And then
Yes, it is. Very good. All right, so I want you to turn to page 763. This is technically your My Homework page, but we're going to go over this together because it has some more real world examples. And before you guys start doing some work on your own today, I want you to see some more real world examples.
My mom went there and
Fantastic. All right, so let's look at page 763. Is everybody there? It says
Yes.
My Homework at the top.
yes, ma'am.
Constantine, will you help Landon? Never mind, he's there. He's good. Okay, so again, the shapes that we're looking at are listed at the top of this page. It is a sphere, cube, pyramid, cone,
Cylinder.
and
Rectangle.
6 different 3D shapes that we're looking at here, okay? So, let's do, oh wait, somebody at table 3 is not ready. All right.
Joel, please make an inappropriate sound.
Zion and Joel, please pay attention while I'm teaching, because even though you've already taken your ACAP scores, you're going to see 3D shapes again next year. So I would make sure I'm paying attention so that when Miss Boyd or Miss Carpenter or Miss Keeter or Miss Wright start talking about 3D shapes next year, I'm ready. I got this. Let's look at number 1. Let me pull a lucky duck. That way some of my friends who may not have got to talk yet get a chance to talk. Zion, look at number 1. What is that purple shape called? A cube. I want you to write cube on the line. We know it's a cube because all of the sides look like what? Squares. Very good. Remember, 3D shapes are made out of 2D shapes on the sides. But when they're all put together, they make a 3D object. Not right now.
I see.
All right, so Zion, let's look at our pictures. Our first picture is a Rubik's Cube. Do you think a Rubik's Cube is a cube?
Yeah. It doesn't have the word cube.
It has the word cube in it. But even if it didn't have the word cube in it, how would we know that it's a cube?
Just look at it.
What about the
It
sides?
has a bunch of squares that form a cube.
Yes, all of the squares on the sides put together form the cube, right?
The squares are actually cute.
All right, so let's look at the next picture. We have a watermelon. Is a watermelon a cube?
No, ma'am. It's an oval.
No, it's an oval shape, right? And cubes are made out of
I said squares.
squares. Very good, Addie. All right, let's look at our last one, a dice. Is a dice a cube?
Yeah. Yes.
I would say so. So let's go ahead and circle that one. So at this point, we should have cube written on the line. And what 2 pictures circled for a cube?
Cube.
The Rubik's Cube and the dice. Very good. All right, so I want you to try number 2 on your own. Name the shape, circle the pictures that are a representation of that shape. And then I'm going to call a friend. Coming around because I'm just wanting to see what you guys are thinking while you're working. Okay. I'm seeing some good things. I'm seeing things that I like. We're on this one. All right, Landon, what did you call this shape?
Rectangle.
Yes, that orange shape is a what?
Rectangle.
Prism.
It's a what, Landon?
Rectangle prism.
A rectangular prism. Very good. If I say it's a rectangle, is that correct?
No.
No.
Shut up.
I know, I forgot to flip the page. I'll turn it back on. But let's talk about this while I'm turning it back on. So, Landon says that this shape is a rectangular prism.
That's why I write her name in the book.
The question I asked was, if I said it's just a rectangle, why is that wrong?
Because it doesn't look that way. It's made out of rectangles and squares.
It's made out of rectangles put together. All of those shapes have faces and sides and edges, right? We're going to talk a little bit more about sides and faces and edges tomorrow. But this is a rectangular prism because all of those rectangles put together make the prism. Right, Tina and Matthew?
I'm not talking as loud as
I was just asking if you agree. Do you agree? Okay. So, Landon, what pictures did you circle as more real-life examples of rectangular prisms?
A paper towel.
The paper towel roll. Think about it. I have a paper towel roll over there. I have one right here.
There's 2 paper towels and a butter.
Look at this. Look at this shape.
It's a cylinder.
Cylinder.
What makes you think it's a cylinder, Macon?
Because it's not made out of rectangle.
He has a point.
It's square.
This is not made out of rectangles. So would we say that it's a cylinder or it's a rectangular prism? What's a cylinder look like?
That paper towel roll.
Look at your picture in your book of a cylinder. What does a cylinder look like? And then look at this paper towel roll. Then look at the rectangular prism and look at this. Which one does this look more like? Cylinder.
Wait, I guess it looks like trapezoids.
Yes, that's true. Landon, do you see another picture there that might fit a rectangular prism example? The what? The stick of butter. I agree with that. I would say that that's a rectangular prism. What do y'all think?
Yes, that is.
Okay, so why do we say yes? Why is it a rectangular prism? That stick of butter. Is it a 3D shape?
Yes.
Made out of?
Rectangular square.
Which means it's a?
Rectangular prism.
Thank you, Matthew. I'm loving it. All right, so now look at number 3. We kind of just talked about this, right?
Yes.
What is that green shape right there called? A cylinder. Let's look at that first picture. That looks like a little container with some gumballs in it.
That's not
Would we say that shape is a cylinder?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
How do we know?
Because it has a circle bottom.
It has a circle as the base or the bottom. Where else is there a circle on that shape?
The
At
top.
the top. Now the sides wrap around kind of like what shape?
Cylinder.
The shape is a cylinder, but the sides wrap around like this. What is that shape called?
Circle.
She's in the
Sphere.
middle of our desk.
Sphere.
A sphere or a circle. Yes, I agree. So let's look at that juice box, the orange juice box. Is that a cylinder?
It's a rectangular prism.
That's a rectangular prism, right? Do you see any circles
No.
making a 3D shape?
The middle of our desk kind of looks like a pentagon.
Correct. So look at this last picture. What is that a picture of?
A trash can.
That's a trash can, right? Kind of like one of those stand-up trash cans where you step on it with your foot and it opens.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that shape. Is that a cylinder?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because it has a circle at the bottom and a circle at the top.
Mm-hmm. And then our sides go straight down and connect those circles,
like a
right?
sphere, yeah.
Kind of like a sphere that's dragged down, right? Very good.
I have a question.
It's kind of like this.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right, let's turn the page.
The juice box.
We should be on page 764.
764.
Okay, so now we're looking at a couple more examples of shapes we haven't talked about yet. So look at number 4, that red shape. I want you to try that on your own. And then I'm going to pull me a lucky duck. I still have some friends who haven't got a turn yet. And I want them to be able to share some of their thoughts too. Okay, you don't need it right now. We'll get you another one later.
Is it a cylinder made out of oil?
Yes, right there. 764. You're on the right page, right here. This red shape. All right, I'm coming around to check out what you guys are thinking and what your pictures that you're circling are looking like. Jasper, we did a shape kind of like this already, right? What do we call that shape?
A cone.
A cone, right. Jasper, what pictures did you circle as examples?
The ice cream and the party hat.
The ice cream cone and the party hat. Do you guys agree with Jasper?
Yes.
Jasper, tell me what shapes you see that help make a cone. A circle is the base, right? What's the other shape that comes together at the top? The shape right here comes together at the top. A triangle. I agree. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
All right, now try that green shape right there.
I'm already food.
Perfect. Remember, write that shape and then circle those pictures that go with it. We're over here. I've got a friend in mind that's going to help me, but that friend's got to catch up, so we'll give him just a minute. All right, I feel like that this shape is one that you guys see pretty often. Maverick, what's that green shape called? A sphere. What pictures are examples over here of spheres, Maverick? What pictures are examples of spheres?
The baseball.
The baseball. Do we agree?
Yes.
Baseball looks like this, right?
And the
What's the other one, Maverick?
The orange.
The orange. Every morning that y'all have oranges for breakfast, you pick up your little sphere and you take it to your desk and you peel it to eat your breakfast, right?
Yes.
Now, is it a sphere after you peel it?
No, ma'am.
No, not when you pull it apart, but is it a sphere when you first get it?
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right, so let's do this brain builder question together because this is one of these questions is one of the ones that y'all struggled with yesterday. It was a brain builder question. Leanne, did you have a question? Go ahead. Agreed. Those are spheres. Yes, Constantine.
Number 5 is kind of confusing because ovals might sometimes be spheres.
They might look kind of like spheres, but that's when we go back to that length, width, and height thing. Like that watermelon looks more like an oval. Remember, an oval looks like a stretched circle. A sphere looks like a circle. Does that make sense? That was a good question.
There are some watermelons that are simple.
Yes, the smaller ones are. Yes, Zion.
I was gonna ask, is the oval made out of a cylinder?
Not technically, remember, because to be 3D, it has to have that base and the bottom and something in between, right? An oval is just an oval. So that would make it what kind of shape?
You can make it into a
2D or 3D?
You can make an oval into a
2D.
rectangle. You can just
Okay,
do it.
Mason. I want you to talk through this word problem with me, okay? Our friends are going to listen in, and they're following along with us, but me and you are going to talk it out, okay?
I know this one.
Yes, Macon.
Is a watermelon oval prism?
There is no such thing as a ovular prism. That is a good question. Remember, Jasper said the smaller watermelons do look like spheres because they're circles, but the oval watermelons, I don't really know that there's a name for that. They're kind of 3D, but I think they're just called watermelons. Ovular prisms.
Hey, that's a
Macon's
good word.
making up new vocabulary words for us.
Yay!
Okay, so let's look at number 6. Put your finger on number 6 so I know you're with me. Number 6, let me see. Fingers are there. They're whisper reading and tracking. Awesome. All right, so Mason, I want you to read this question for us.
I have 6 surfaces. 2 of my surfaces are small than the others. I can stand up tall. What shape am I? Explain your answers to a family member
Rectangle.
or friend.
Guess what? We're all family members and friends in here.
Yep.
So we're about to explain it to each other.
Okay,
So let's start. Remember yesterday when we were talking about planning to solve our problems? Yes, Landon?
I already did this.
Okay, well that's not the page we're on, baby. We're on page 764. On number 6.
Yeah.
So, how many surfaces does this shape have?
6.
It says it has 6 surfaces. Surfaces are like the sides you can touch. So if I take my cylinder over here, follow with me. Here's my shape. Here's a surface. Here's a surface. Here's a surface. Here's a surface. All the sides that you can touch are a surface. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we know that our shape has 6 surfaces. So is this going to be my shape?
Nope.
It doesn't have enough surfaces, does it?
No.
Rectangular prism.
What?
I mean,
Okay, Maverick. I like the way that you're thinking. So let's think about that rectangular prism. I want you to flip back to the page before this where it has the pictures of all of your shapes. Do you see the rectangular prism?
yes.
Count the surfaces on that rectangular prism. We got to start with those 6
It has
surfaces.
6. It has 6. And it said, but 2 of my sides are smaller.
Okay? So let's take it one step at a time.
There is.
If you're with me, give me 5.
The top and the bottom.
All right, so I think Maverick may be helping us get somewhere. He said he thinks it might be a rectangular prism. Well, the very first bit of information it gives us is that it has 6 surfaces. Does that rectangular prism have 6 surfaces?
Yeah.
Okay, so far this is looking like it could be an answer, but we got to check everything, right? What else does it tell us?
It has 2 sides smaller than the other 6.
2 of those surfaces are smaller than the rest, right?
Which is right there. Yeah, but there is a triangular prism too.
So let's focus on the rectangular prism for now because Maverick is the one who said, I think this one might be it, and this is the first shape we're trying.
Yeah.
So we know it has 6 surfaces. Does that rectangular prism have 2 surfaces that are smaller than the others? Look at your picture and tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Macon, are you with me? Maverick, are you with me? You looking at your rectangular prism? Does it have 2 surfaces that are smaller than the others? Where?
The top,
Right
The
up in the bottom.
top and the bottom, right?
Yes.
They're still rectangles, but they're a little bit shorter in, which one? Are they shorter in width or are they shorter in height?
You mean Lloyd?
What?
The bottom and the top is a square.
They're all rectangles. That's why it's a rectangular prism. Now, that's a good point. They're not quite squares, but are the rectangles at the top and the bottom are smaller surfaces?
Yeah.
Are they smaller in width or in height? Look at your picture. Remember, width is what? Width. Height is?
Hi.
Which one is it smaller in?
Oh.
Height.
Hi. She said width.
Hi.
I would say that it's smaller in width and height. Because think about it. Look at the shape up here on the board. Follow with me. See? Here's my width. Width. The width of these. Oh, wait. Width and width. That's about the same, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
But if I look at height, see the height here
Yes, ma'am.
versus this one. One of those looks a bit longer to me, don't you think?
Yes, ma'am.
So, let's go back to our question. What shape am I? Is our shape a rectangular prism? Is that what we're looking for?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's double check. Does it have 6 surfaces? Are 2 of those surfaces smaller than the others?
Yes, ma'am.
So our shape is what?
A
A rectangular. Look at y'all. That brain builder question scared y'all yesterday, and it wasn't so bad, was it?
I got it.
All right, so let's do the vocabulary check at the bottom. Yep. Everybody's got rectangular prism as their answer to that question.
Sir, yes, sir. Right, sir.
All right, let's do the vocabulary check at the bottom. Are y'all with me?
Yes, ma'am.
We're almost done with this lesson, guys, and then I'm going to let y'all do your independent practice. Okay, so our vocabulary check. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call out a shape. You're going to raise your hand, and I'm going to call you to give an example that we see every day, a real-life example of that shape. You think we can do that?
Yes.
We've been doing some practice. I think y'all got this.
You know.
All right, somebody raise your hand and give me an example of a cylinder. Skylar, what you think? Skylar says in the vocabulary check, she thinks a cylinder is that red shape down there. Do y'all agree with Skylar?
Yes.
So, Constantine, give me an example of what a cylinder would look like when I'm walking around every day, where I might see one.
In the classroom.
Okay. Where in the classroom do you see a cylinder? Look around, tell me what you see.
Toilet.
Constantine.
Then not toilet paper.
Your phone.
Sort of, kind of.
A pencil?
All them.
Maybe a pencil. Okay. What was that example that I held up a few minutes ago, Jasper, of a cylinder?
Look at the things.
What example did I hold up in my hand of a cylinder a few minutes ago?
Tissue.
Paper
The paper towel. Now, somebody said, I'll wait. Somebody's talking while I'm talking. I think it was Landon just a second ago said, well, what about the toilet paper roll? Is that a cylinder?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
It's a cylinder. It's just a little bit smaller than that paper towel holder,
Yes,
right? But is the shape the same?
Yes.
No, I said
Yes.
I said over there. You see the bag?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
Armando's bag? I said that.
All right. So let's talk about our next shape, a rectangular prism. Yes, Megan. An example of one? Okay. So Megan, tell me what color shape on our vocabulary check is a rectangular prism? The purple one. Do we agree?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so Macon, can you give me an example of what a rectangular prism might look like? They're testing right now. Go wait a few minutes, okay? Okay, I mean, I'll take that. Can Can you think of another one that we talked about a few minutes ago when we circled pictures?
A rectangle.
What is the, y'all been getting up to get them a lot lately because the seasons are changing and the pollen is falling and you keep going to this to pick something up. What's it called?
Tissue box.
The tissue box. Is our tissue box over here a rectangular prism?
Yes.
Are all the sides rectangles?
Yes. Your phone's a rectangular prism?
Well,
Two
not
of them
all.
are squares.
It's kind of, I'd say it's a
Our
little
bags are
thin for that,
rectangular
but I like what you're thinking.
Two of them are squares.
All right, we got 2 more shapes to cover. So,
Our
cube.
bags are rectangular
Joel.
prisms.
Which shape on my vocabulary chart is a cube? What color is it?
Our bags are
Brandon, please pay attention. A what? Which color? Joel says blue. Do we agree that the blue shape is a cube?
Yeah.
All right, Joel, give me an example of a cube that I might see just walking around in my everyday life. Or if you can see one in the classroom.
That thing, soundboard has a cube picture.
That soundboard has a picture of a cube on it. You're right, Joel. I like it. I like it. All right, so make sure you have your line drawn from cube to the blue shape. Now there's one shape left. What is it?
A cone.
A cone. And what color shape is a cone?
Green.
It's the green one. And we know a cone like a waffle cone. And what was that other shape we talked about that's a cone?
Pyramid party hat.
It's a party hat. Good, Leanne. So, what about if I give you an activity this afternoon in, let's say, social studies? And we're talking about those pyramids in Egypt. Is a pyramid and a cone the same thing?
No.
What's different about them?
The pyramid is bigger than the cone. No.
Not necessarily.
A pyramid is flat and it's like
cone ain't
has flat, just triangles. But
Uh-huh.
the cone is just like a circle triangle or whatever.
Okay, let me see if I can draw a picture of this on the board without messing it up. There's something that I want you guys to notice about a pyramid versus a cone.
I was like dad in here and could draw you us a.
Let me see if I can draw it up here where you guys can see it.
Oh, a cone has a circle and the pyramid is flat.
It's not flat, but there's a shape at the bottom that's a little bit different. So let's look at a cone. I'm gonna do my best to draw this for you guys.
It's good.
Okay, that's a cone, right? This is like if I was holding it up and looking at the bottom. What's at the bottom of this cone?
Circle.
A circle. Now let's think about a pyramid. Ready? That didn't work. Okay.
I know how to do one.
Hang on. I'm going to pull up a picture because Miss Lloyd's not a very good artist and I don't want to confuse you guys. Hold on.
Yeah, you don't want to confuse little second grader.
You're right. I don't want to confuse your bright second grade eye.
Little monster. You're smart. You don't
All right.
want to confuse little monster.
So track with me, okay? Maverick, are you seeing what I'm seeing here?
Yeah.
All right, let's look at this picture a little closer. You don't have to pay attention to anything but these pictures right here. See this?
Yeah.
What do you notice? This is a pyramid. This is a cone. What do you notice that's different?
The pyramid is a square and the cone is
All right, touch your head. Jasper said it perfectly. Exactly what I was looking for. Jasper, explain to your friends what you see that's different.
The bottom of the pyramid is a square and the bottom of the cone is a circle.
See it? Bottom of the pyramid is a...
Square.
Bottom of a cone is a...
Circle.
Okay, y'all are tracking. All right, so here's what I need you to do. Yes, somebody has a question?
Alright. Them things up there, them two things up there. Is our day starting out straight?
Yes, they're kind of like cubes.
Is our day starting out straight?
I think we're doing great so far this morning. Okay, so here's what I need you guys to do from here. There are going to be 2 pages. Actually, yeah, I think it's 2, but they're front and back. There are 2 pages that you're going to pull for your independent practice today. It's page 761 and 762. So I want you to go ahead and tear that out, and then I'm going to give you the directions before I release you to work on it. Yes, 761
This one.
and 762. If you need me to help you rip it out, just raise your hand and I'll come to you.
Do you have a few more minutes or seconds? I already did have
The table who shows me they're ready the fastest will get some PBIS points. That means that they are quiet and their materials are ready. It looks like table 4 is ready. Except for Landon, because I was tying his shoe. There you go. Alright, so let's discuss our instructions so that you know what to do. Yes, Addie. Skylar, you need some help?
I can help you, Skylar.
Thank you, Macon. I appreciate that. Desiree, you need me to tear it out for you? Okay. You're on the right page. Just right here.
We're second graders. We know how to read.
Alright, so let's talk about our directions. They're really simple because it's pretty much the same thing we've been doing. Maverick, are you with me? Okay. So for numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, you're going to write the name of the shape, circle the objects that are that same shape. On the back, number 8 and 9 and 10 are word problems. Do not overthink the word problems. Remember, what were we doing yesterday to help us solve those problems?
Drawing them.
Drawing a picture, right? Can I still draw a picture today to solve my problem?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I refer back to my book to the pictures of the shapes?
Yes, ma'am.
I can. How can I check my answers?
So go back over. Go back in the book and see.
You can go back in the book. Can I also make sure that my answers are reasonable?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Remember, we talked about how to do that yesterday, so make sure you're using those skills as well. For the writing part, how can you tell if a shape is three-dimensional? Everybody's answer is not going to be the same for this question, and that is okay. Tell me how you decided if a shape is 2D or 3D. By looking at it, tell me how you decide. Okay? As long as you attempt to answer that question to the best of your ability and your answer makes sense, then you can't get it wrong. This is a writing, right math. It's your opinion on how you distinguish based on the skills we've learned and practiced together. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what I need you to do is you are going to complete this. Once you have completed it, you're going to turn it in onto the back table to me. And then you will get on to iReady Math and start working on your lessons that have been set up on there for you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Does anybody have any questions right now? Yes, Colby.
What you do, AR?
Can we do AR?
Okay. Let's do iReady for now because this afternoon, right before our elective time and while we're packing up, we're going to have some time to work on AR, okay?
Was it?
When you get on iReady, make sure you are on iReady Math completing your lessons.
I already finished all mine.
Okay. Are we good?
Yes.
Everybody knows what to do. Yes, Leanne, you have a question.
If you don't know how to spell a shape, it's on the wall.
Yes, there are some clues. That's right. Remember, you are looking at surfaces. You are looking at what shapes make those sides all come together into a 3D shape. That will help you figure out what you're looking at. If you have a question, just raise your hand and we can talk about it together. Do y'all feel okay about this? Show me how you feel. Good, or not so good?
Good.
Show me how you're feeling. Okay. Maverick, Addie, Skylar, Macon, show me how you're feeling.
Me and Cole both.
Good, not so good.
I did.
Okay, okay,
And this Mr. Way. Happy.
okay. All right, I'm gonna look at your papers when you turn them in. If there are some shapes that you're still confused about, I will pull some examples of shapes that you can like touch and all that. And then we will talk about the differences kind of at the back table together during small groups, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody good?
Yes.
All right, y'all got this.